Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today we are looking at section 1.4 in your textbooks, and section 1.4 is all about patterns. So I'm going to show you a pattern, and I want you guys to see if you can figure out the next step in the pattern. Here is your pattern. So this is the first one. We're going to call that term 1. This is the second step in the pattern. We're going to call that term 2 because it's the second step. And this is the third step. We're going to call that term number 3. Can you guys figure out the fourth step? That's right. The next step is term 4. So each of these sections are called an individual term. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I want you guys to see if you can figure out what the pattern is. I'll bet you can. The pattern is that you start at 3, there's 3, and then you add 3 each time. Pretty simple, right? It's something you've probably done for a long time. Now, here's where it gets slightly more complicated, but not much. I have the term number here. So I can create a chart with term number as the first part of the chart. I'm going to record my term numbers across my chart. Here it is. Term number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be these spots right here. 3, 4. So how many blocks are in term number 1? You can see it's 3, right? So I'm going to show you the second part of this chart. I've got the term number at the top, and right here I've got the number of blocks that goes with each term. So term number 1 right here has 3 blocks, so I write the 3 here. Term number 2 has 6 blocks. I write that here. Term 3, 9. Term 4, 12. And I can keep going. I can figure out, because I know that I start at 3 and I add 3 each time, I can go 12 plus 3 and figure out term number 5 would have 15 blocks. So the pattern that I have so far is 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 3 is 12, and 12 plus 3 is 15. That's a pattern just with the term, the number of blocks in each one. But there's another pattern that I can see here, which is a really important pattern. I can see a pattern between the 1 and the 3, the 2 and the 6, the 3 and the 9. So basically I can figure out a relationship between the 1 and the 3. What is it? If you said 1 times 3, you're right, because 1 times 3 equals 3. And that pattern, that times 3, keeps going through the whole thing. So 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 3 is 12, 5 times 3, 15. So it's really useful in that I can relate these two to each other. And you might wonder why that's important. Well, how about this? If I had just added 3 each time, I'd have to do them all in order. But what if, say, I wanted to find out term number 25? How many blocks were in term number 25? Well, now I know I just go times 3. 25 times 3 is 75. So without having to go through every single step, every single term number, I can figure out that there are going to be 75 blocks in term number 25. I could do it again for a different option if I wanted. Say I wanted to do 30. I could do term number 30, and of course I multiply that by 3, and I end up with 90. So I know that I've got the term number 30, and there are 90 blocks in that term. So I wouldn't have had to go up all the way to 30 to figure out that there are 90 blocks.